The Battle of Cannae was fought in 216 BC. It was part of the Second Punic War, which began when Hannibal, a Carthaginian general, captured Saguntum, a town allied to Rome. Hannibal's army moved across the Iberian Peninsula, eventually reaching Italy by crossing the Alps. Hannibal's army invaded Italy and were twice victorious against unprepared Roman forces. A larger Roman army was sent, under the command of consuls Varro and Paulus, to confront Hannibal, and both sides met at the village of Cannae in southeastern Italy. The Carthaginian army had around 40,000 infantry and 10,000 cavalry. The formation Hannibal used on the day was a crescent curving out towards the Romans. He placed his Spanish and Gallic units in the centre, his African units on the flanks, and his cavalry on the left and right. The Romans had around 80,000 men and 8,000 cavalry. All of the Roman infantry were positioned in a deep and narrow formation. With their much bigger army, the Roman tactics on the day was to overwhelm the Carthaginians. The Roman cavalry were positioned on the left and right wings. The battle began with the Carthaginians holding line against Roman infantry. Hannibal's heavy cavalry on the left engaged the Roman horsemen, and the cavalry on the right, made up of Numidians, were deployed to frustrate and delay the Roman opposition. The light horses of the Numidians enabled them to continually charge and retreat while throwing javelins and spears, while the Roman cavalry was too cumbersome to follow similar tactics. Hannibal's 6,000 cavalry on the left had outnumbered their Roman opposition, and after defeating them, they charged across the battlefield to help the Numidians. On seeing the reinforcements, the remaining Roman cavalry retreated and were chased from the battlefield. Hannibal now allowed a controlled retreat of his front line. The crescent formation began to curve inward, although crucially, the line did not break. The more they pushed forward, the deeper the Romans were getting into Hannibal's trap. Hannibal's African soldiers on the flanks now turned and attacked Roman soldiers from the sides, and the Carthaginian cavalry began attacking the Roman rear. The crescent formation had now become a circle with the Romans trapped in the middle. Surrounded by all sides, there was no escape for the majority of the Roman infantry. The Roman consul Varro escaped, but Paulus was killed with around 60,000 other Romans. The Carthaginian losses were around 6,000. This was a victory for the Carthaginians and an example of the double envelopment tactic. The Roman army avoided any more battles with Hannibal.